stage, and the story that we're teaching all the kids in the kindergarten. Okay, when they are 5, 6 years old, even less than that, we tell them this story. We tell them that Abraham had a unique thing that he did. What Abraham did? He had a home, like here, okay, a restaurant, that everybody could come and eat by him. Now, he didn't ask for money. Instead of paying for his eating, what people did? Bless God! Bless God! So,
he also had his head open on the four corners.
He had it open for all four corners, so everybody can come. This is the meaning of this. And when people wanted at the end to pay him, he said to them, you don't need to pay me. Just bless God. But you don't believe in this God. Okay, so you prefer to pay me? Not a problem. And then he gave them a huge amount of beer. It was really expensive. So people got afraid. They said, but so much money. He asked them, like, I'm in the desert, you're getting food, it's expensive. So we don't have the money to pay. So you know what? Bless God. It's enough. So they bless God and that's it. Now, this is a nice story. It's a nice story about young kids. And when you tell this story to kids, age 4 or 5 years old, people are excited and they say to themselves, wow. But with all the respect, all of us are a bit older than that. Can you explain to me this story? Is it reasonable? Have you ever saw that you can teach someone philosophical issues through the food? Is it reasonable to speak about God through food? Something here is weird, right? It's not working. It's not a reasonable story. Maybe it's a good story when you're 4 or 5 years old, but it's not a good story for us as an adult. We need to understand what exactly is happening. Good question, right? A story with a question. Fair enough. So let's go one step ahead. And let's start to understand what exactly our sages are teaching us and what we can learn from that and to start to do things. Let's move to the action side. Okay? The first point that we learn here, Abraham had a very unique way how to teach people the most critical things in life. And the most important thing that we all have a decision, a free will decision, is do we believe, or do we understand, I will say it like that, do we understand that to live, I need something from outside of me, and if I won't get it, I won't be able to recharge my battery, and I will lose my life. Have you ever saw someone who is not eating? Did you ever thought to yourself, why God created us in a situation where we're supposed to eat at least twice a day? Why God didn't organize for us that twice a day we are standing upside down, on our hands for half an hour? Twice a day. Why not? Instead of that, God decided to organize something else. That twice a day we need to eat. Think about this. We need to prepare ourselves for the food. We need to prepare the food. Right? After that, we need to go to the toilets. Think about this. We are dealing through this food issue for all of our life. Why God organized it like that? The reason is very simple. We have an experience, we understand, we are realizing in our body, in our experience, that if we won't get something from outside of us, we won't be able to live. And now we can start to adjust, to understand that on the same level, also in the spiritual side, if we won't be connected to the source of life, we won't be able to live. And this is what Abraham is teaching us in his experience way. Just like in the body side, we need something outside of us. So it will give us strength to the battery of life to move everything. The same thing we need with the spiritual side. We need to have the connection with God. And this is the main difference that we have. This is the main difference that we have between the understanding of the Hebrew nation and the understanding of the old Greeks, for example. The old Greeks have a lot of methodology, all sorts of ideas and stories, how the aliens are fighting against the humans. The aliens are fighting against the human in this world. We all know about, for example, the Dilos and the Carus. Okay? With the wings, okay? That they were in a maze. Believe me, I was once in Australia with my kids in a maze, in a real maze, and I got lost. Okay? For 20 minutes, I didn't find my way. It is really frustrating. It was really a nervous moment. But think about those two, father and son, that didn't find their way in the maze, and they did wings, right? And the story is saying that it was with the web, you know, the wings.
They went too close to the sun.
They went too close to the sun. So the meaning of this, they felt that they fell down there, that's it. And what is the meaning of this? There is a fight. There is a fight, okay, between the sun, the aliens. You have no possibility of coming to the third dimension. Human being. The same thing is with the lights. For example, for a moment, let's compare this to what is happening in the Hebrew tradition. God, when he is describing himself after he is taking out the Hebrew nation, and they're coming to Mount Sinai, God is describing himself, I carried you on the eagle wings. I gave you the wings. I'm not going to fight with you. I want to lift you up to the next dimension of the prophecy. Okay? Let's go to another story. How do we have the fire? You know the difference. If you will go to the Jungle Kid. Remember this movie of Walt Disney, Jungle Kid? How do you call it? Mowgli. When Mowgli is starting the fight or starting, is fighting the monkey there, the big monkey, right? What's his name? So the monkey is telling him, look, give me the secret. You know how to deal with the fire. Right? We, the animals, we don't know how to deal with the fire. Give us a secret. And then I will give you a prize. Now, how exactly we have the fire? With all the mythology of the old Greeks again. The fire, we got the fire. Prometheus. He steals the fire from the aliens, right? In the Hebrew tradition, the fire, God gave us. Straight after the Shabbat, the first Shabbat, to Adam and Eve, he taught him. Now listen good. He didn't just give him the fire. He gave him 2 bricks and he told him, take them and beat them, touch one to each other and then we will have the fire. So God taught us and he wants us to become his partners. He wants us to become his partners. Now, from now on, now that we saw the principle, with Abraham starting to realize the profound side of what Abraham did, and we're starting to see or to realize that in the Hebrew tradition, we're speaking about relation with God. Now, I want us for a moment to start to think, what are the things that we can do? Because if we're already here, and we are already here from a few places of Europe, okay, and each one of us, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, is going back to this place. In Germany, people will sit down in one place. In Cyprus, other people. In Germany, a few places like this. Some will sit down in the Czech Republic, in one side of the Czech Republic, and others will sit down in Italy, whatever it is. let's think for a moment. Let me put, I will say, a vision, and let's try to think together, first of all, in papers and everything else, about things that we can do. Okay? So let me put for a moment. Basically, what I'm asking now is how we can become partnership with God on the path of Abraham. How we, again, I'm saying this is the headline, okay? How becoming partnership with God on the path of Abraham, just like Abraham understood that this is what he's supposed to do. And we, all of us, as Noachide, we are also part of this thing. Let me give a vision. You know, everything starts with a vision. When you have a vision, you know, you're starting to think how to put this vision in reality. Right? So my vision is like that. Each one of you, I'm saying one, but you're more than one, okay? Cyprus is two people, okay? In French, you're not alone. In both of you, I don't know how much you're close together, but okay, in Germany, also a group of people. In Czech, everybody, also in Italy, essentially more people, we can organize it. It's enough to be, you know, with the one partner. Also, by the way, we have one each other. You know, I think you will see how much it's powerful tomorrow. Okay? But let's think for a moment that you're managing to organize a group around you of people. Okay? And you're meeting once a month. Once a month you have a meeting. Okay? Once a month, it's enough. You have a meeting with few people. First time it will be 5 people more than you. Second time it will be 7, 10 people. In the third time it will reduce again to only 7 people. And then you're not saying to yourself, okay, it's not good enough. Saying to yourself, excellent, next time it will be more than that. But if you be consistent with those meetings, and once a month you're meeting people face to face, not only on the internet. In a moment we'll speak how we're coming to this stage. And after 10 months like that, we're going to do another seminar. But next time, you're not coming to a seminar with this group only by yourself. You have a group of 15, 20, 25 people that are with you. Some of them will come with you. We will sit here in this room. No, it won't be here. So, it's just coming. I don't know if it will be here. Okay? It might be that it won't be here. You know, the reasonable thing is saying that we will do the next seminar in Europe, in a different place of Europe, in Germany, in France, I don't know yet. But we'll do it next year another seminar, but more people will come. And we will do more things that are also related to the rest of the world. And think about this, as we are continuing the next year and the year after that, there will be more things to adjust in the middle. And each time, the seminar is growing up, and we're doing more things that are related, and more influence we're putting inside Europe. The vision. Something that could happen. Now the question that you will ask me about how come, or how can we organize it will be more than 6 people in the Czech Republic, in the area where we live, we're trying to be more than 6 people already for the last, how long? 4 years. We're trying to go up. We're not managing to go up. This is where I'm asking you. Now, it's really different between what's happening in Germany, and what's happening in Italy, and what's happening in today it's a bit of a problem in Ukraine. Okay, what's happening in Cyprus? It is a bit different in each place. But this is where maybe we need to sit down for a moment. I will put in music, and we will try to think, how am I going to go to the first stage? I want another month to have a meeting. In the meanwhile, what I'm doing, that there will be a meeting like that. Now, what are we going to do in this meeting? Shaki said, we can learn something together. We can pray together. It's very important to eat. Why is it important to eat? Like Abraham, right? When we're eating, we can speak about this, that you know, look what's happening to us. Okay? So ask the same question. How come God is not demanding from us, okay? He didn't create us in a situation that we're standing each day for twice a day on our hands, you know, to adjust the blood. why God demanded from us, or created us that we need to eat twice a day, or 3 times a day. Very simple. So to organize a meeting with a bit of a food, something you do. Now I'm asking you, maybe sit down, it's important for a moment. I want to put music, and let's start to think about the first step. Okay, each one with this community, what are the things, or what are the things that you can do to decide a meeting, and that there will be a meeting that people will come. Now, I want to maybe to say another word before that, and then we're going to do this exercise, or this, something that we will think for ourselves, and then we will speak together. It's not, you're not supposed to go all the time and say, I'm a Noachide, come to listen to me, I'm a Noachide, come to listen to me. It's not what you're supposed to do. It won't work. It won't work. It's not working like that. What are you supposed to do? Think for a moment. How? Do you have friends? Do you have people you know? You have those things. You don't need to speak to them all the time, I'm a Noachide. But if you will behave, this is why we ask Vasily. That's why we ask Vasily to speak. We ask Vasily to speak because of this reason. People think that you need to go all the time to say, I'm a Noachide. You don't need to say this. When you say all the time about yourself something, it's because you don't believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you don't need to say it. Okay? But if you're behaving, and this is what Vasily said, to stay in Noachide, to know that this is the way that God is asking me to do, or to be, this is what I am. And from now on, I want to have a good connection with my neighbors, with my friends, that they will see, okay, that to be a Noachide, I don't need to say it, I am a Noachide, but they will see that this is something that is a true thing. You know, when I was had a very long discussion, I was a few times in Lithuania, okay? And I was there, and I have there's a very big group of Noachide people there. And one of the things that they told me is that as a Noachide, okay, as Noachides, it's that people think that they are weird. And I had a very long discussions with them how to break this down, that the people will understand that to be a Noachide, it's a normal thing. No, you're a normal person. Now, if you will say to people, come and listen to a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, to your neighbors or to your friends, they will tell you that you got nuts. Right? But if you will tell them just, no, we want to gather together, another month, I'm putting a date, let's come to be together, something like that. What exactly are the stages that you can send them, okay, on the internet? If they will ask you, what is it, this Noachide? We see that you're not coming to the church and you're feeling good with yourself. Okay, what is happening here? How come it's happening like that? So what is exactly, or where exactly you can send them? What is the link in the internet that you can send them that will bring them to this situation that they will start to realize that this is something real? I will send you the links, okay? Not now. Believe me, you will have, when we will go out tomorrow from here, you will have also the links in few languages, okay, that you can send people. And if someone is asking you, this is what I do. Those are my rabbis. Oh, don't say the rabbis, it's a bit weird. Those are the people from Israel that I'm related with. Let's not forget, and this is also a very important point, people think that we are cult. No, it's not true. But there are those who are saying, but this is like a cult. Okay? Now let me tell you something very interesting. If you open the Bible, you will see few prophets, few prophecies that are saying something very simple. And but it says that the words of God will come from? What did you say? Zion. Give me time to read it. It will come from Zion. It will come from Jerusalem, right? So now listen good. We heard about the group of Noachide, in the United States that decided that they are the Noachide, and they did even a conference for the people in the Filipinos, and they told them that they are the Noachide and not Jerusalem. Okay? So what I did is something very simple. When I was in the United States, a year and a half ago, we spoke with him, and we sent them a message, and we spoke with them again, and we sent them a message with a few rabbis, and we told them, listen good. If you will decide that you are the Noachide and you are disconnected from Jerusalem, so the next generation is a cult. It's a cult. You're not connected to Jerusalem. If you want to fulfill the prophets, you must be connected to the rabbis in Jerusalem. Rabbi Sherki, and this is why it's so important for us, and what we showed you yesterday, that we are related with all of the rabbis of Jerusalem. This is a real thing. If you want to fulfill the prophets, this is the real thing. So what I want to do now, let's go to the first step of the, I would call it, of the vision. We want to nail a date, another month from now, and that we want to do a gathering, that the main point of this gathering is also, I would call it like that, it's a nice gathering of friends and everything else, but that people will know or will knowledge that I'm not going to the church, but I'm still your friend, and I do believe in God, and everything is fine. Do something there with a bit of the food, with all of you. And you can also bring, we are willing, when I'm saying we, okay, it's the Noachide World Center. I will force our not to come physically, okay, to those meetings, but to be on the internet. We will be able to be on the internet, and we will be able to help you. Maybe even to find someone, if you want, a Jewish person. I'm not sure that you want this in the first meeting. I'm not sure that you want in the first meeting to bring a Jewish person there. Okay? But you have friends. You have people around you. You have the cycle around you. Maybe you're working in the hospital as a nurse, and you have a group of friends that you're doing all sorts of things. And you can speak with them. Maybe you're working in other places. Maybe you're already in the pension time. But you have good friends. You have people around you. They're going to the church every Sunday. So don't do this on Sunday. Or do this on Sunday afternoon. Okay, after they went out from the church. And they volunteered for themselves because they already. I'm putting music for a minute. Okay, and try to think, how can you gather, or how can you bring people to a meeting, to your place, for the first time? What is the way that you're doing it? It could be, regardless your age, regardless where you live. In a moment, we'll try also to think together about ideas. Maybe we will manage to help one each other to think about things. Okay? So this is the mission. The mission is, how am I going to do a nice meeting in my place, my home, with people that we're going to have, I'll call it the first meeting, that is not related to the church, it's related to my way. Okay? I'm putting this up. Ideas. People try to write down on the paper. You don't need to speak too much with one with each other, only with yourself or maybe with your friend. Try to write down ideas how to organize a meeting like that.
jediný, že se stane některým činem.
We'll do this after. Okay, with your permission now, what we want is to exchange ideas. Now again, the main mission is to come to a stage where you have, we'll say it like that, where people understand. The truth is that it's a replacement to the church. Now, I can't say this, it's very, we'll say it's very, I need to be very careful because some of the church people will try to harm me with this thing. But the truth is that we are, in some sort of a way, replacing the church. Now, one of the things that I wanted to tell you a moment ago with the Lithuanian people, that they are so frustrated with the church, and I think that all of you know that they saw that they're coming on Sunday, the person there is preaching, and after they're going out from the church, there's no relation, there's no connection between the things that he said, okay, and his behavior. And the behavior around. So you can do whatever you want to do, but you believe in one thing and you do other things. There is a disconnection. Now, in the other side, we as human beings, we think, we wish, we will, okay, and we behave. We want this. So when there is some sort of a hypocrite, okay, situation and disconnection between the will, wish, understanding what we need to do and what we're doing, it's really bothering. And this is why, one of the main reasons, that in the last 200 years, churches just got less and less people inside there. Now, I won't go inside why in Germany in the last 3 years, you can realize, okay, in Germany in the last 3 years, the churches grew up, but it's also related with the Arabs that came inside, as they call all the refugees and everything else. So it's something they started to move a bit. But again, the main part of the church is in a very big breakdown. And in some sort of a way, those meetings that I'm speaking about is some sort of replacement for people to come, to feel comfortable, to come to a place where everything is with a harmony, okay? What you think, what you wish, what you will, it's what you do, and everything is going together. So I want to hear a bit of ideas, but someone needs to write it down for everybody. I'll go with you. You write down. You can do it. You have your fingers. The main idea is to write down what people are saying, the ideas, and how can we organize a meeting with the people that will feel comfortable with it. What is the content that you think is the best thing to put inside? For the first meeting, it's not something people are supposed to be obligated whatever it is. Please, who wants to start? You said that you had already ideas.
Yeah, I can start because first of all, I'm open to questions. I dismiss questions I've answered. Maybe I have more experience than the rest. Yeah. Maybe I have more experience because I started to get people together about 10 years ago in Ukraine, in Kharkov. We are all different people, different levels. Someone has got a lot of money, the other person is looking for a job. Someone is an IT specialist, someone is a butcher, cleaning the house. And that is the biggest problem in any community, to find some topics that would be interesting for everybody. All walks of life, like they speak in English, high English, all walks of life. That is most important. Different ages, different professions, different salaries, different mentality. So my idea, if you want to make some kind of meeting like that, to start talking about things that might be interesting for everyone. For example, what happens after the person dies? Wow. And we go on and go on. People will come. They are interested to know what happens when I die, or the process of dying. 30 days before a person dies, there is a cell and going on, you feel it. Then you feel several seconds before you die. Then after you die, it happens this, and this. I understand. For people who are from the street, it will be very difficult to explain in details and make it like very, I would say, profound ideas about Kabbalah, Judaism. No, the topic is generally speaking about death, and put a little bit of Judaism there. Not very deep, otherwise they will die right in the meeting. So you just, like Rab Cherky, he put seed into the ground, into my soul, and I grow. So your job, when people get together, to make some, okay, you don't like dying personality. That's like, why person is bored?
Excuse me, can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure, no problem.
So, because you spoke of dying, we are all humans, we have a different idea of what death is, of what our life is. We are here for today, and we will die. I'm not talking about personally, but this is conversation I heard, and this is my life, there is nothing after that. Okay, so how do you approach these people and tell them that there is, death is not the end of life in any case?
Just a moment. What you raised up is great, okay? But I want us to concentrate on the main thing. And the main thing is that now we saw an example or an idea of subjects, ideas, okay? If, for example, let's go, I don't want to go inside to this specific issue. We'll speak about this specific issue today when we're hiking, okay? Because the philosophers are saying that you can doubt everything in life except for death. Okay? So to speak about that, it's a good idea, not only that. What I wanted here is mainly I want us to concentrate. One of the ideas that we see in here, that if you are...
Your reaction is the proof that he is right.
Excellent. What I'm saying here, and thank you Dimitri very much, is the first idea. I want others also to speak. Thank you very much. We can applause. The idea of taking a subject, okay, that is interesting people, and to open the home, to open our house, okay, to a meeting, to whatever it is, in the moment you will say more things, about a subject that is interesting people, not saying this is a Judaism subject. Now we can think about more 10 subjects, And this is something that people will say to themselves, Sunday afternoon, with my friends, with my family, why not? Let's go to speak together. Let's go to have some sort of a mingling together instead of being boring, okay? As he said, also another subject that we speak today, how can we try and solve wars in life and what we do. So, subject, not to speak on a Jewish subject, or not to call it a Jewish, but to speak about the subject that is connecting people together. Thank you very much. No ideas how we're going to do a meeting like that? Yes, please. Everybody, don't feel everything is good. All the answers are good. Okay, you don't need to be afraid or shy. I saw that German people, a lot of discussions inside. If you want to say something.
Yeah, one idea was that we have to have a good marketing strategy to make the topics as interesting as possible, because people outside shouldn't get the impression that there is a little sect called Noachides, like a little cult or other religious organization, but to talk about tough topics that are interesting for everyone, such as life and death. Is there a God? Is there something like correct morality? And we're still in the process of discussion.
About those ideas. But okay. So, look, what you're saying here, both of you, what you're saying. No, thank you very much. It's you are deepening, you're giving this idea a more profound side. Okay, again, the question is, what are the issues that we're raising up that is interesting people to come and to be part of to this discussion? Okay, this is the main discussion that we're going to do. More things that are related to this thing. Please, everything, all the answers are good, so don't be afraid. Yes, please. Again, your name, sorry.
I'm Eva Inger.
You are?
From Germany.
Yes, okay.
I would like to take a step back a bit, because before I want to go outside and to invite people, and I would like to have more connections to the other Noachides within Germany or other Germany, and just to build up us as something that is well connected, so that we can start to expand together. Because we alone, I'm in Munich and there is nobody around me. The next is I think Ulm or in Vienna. But I think what is that, to meet 2-3 times a year, to meet in person, and meanwhile to make Zoom meetings in our WhatsApp group you already are doing. But I think that would help me to go outside later.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me see if I understand you. I will say it in a different way, so we will see that what you're saying basically, you're saying something that will give us the more strength to go outside is to feel more togetherness between ourselves. Now, you also mentioned that you were very spread over Germany. Germany is a big country, okay? I've heard this from my grandmother. And Germany is a big country. So the question is how exactly you can gather together. It could be in two ways, okay? Physically, I think always physically is best than just on the internet, but it also could be something on the internet. You're more than right, this is very important. You need to answer, you and the friends in Germany, how you can gather together, or where exactly. I think that, by the way, Austria is not far from you. No, you don't need to. And okay, and there will be all of them together will be happy. The question is how much you're going to be close with yourself. You need to answer yes, please.
Thank you. First, I would like to follow what you said. It's also my problem. Yeah? So before going out to make some missionary work, it's more important for me to get together the very few Noachides at all. Yeah? Second, what Luke tells us from the Ukraine, and also what Luke tells us from the state, for me it sounds very strange, because you're living obviously in a Christian surrounding. which is absolutely not the case in Austria, Vienna, and I believe even in Germany. We are living in an atheistic community. So when we start to tell my friends or relatives about living after death, immediately.
So what do you think could be a good subject?
Yes, I would like to talk about the Israel conflict, about the political situation in Israel, and so on, the presidential election in the United States. That would interest
People. But I see that Michaela is half on this topic, right?
Oh, one thing we know is if you start a religion, talk about religious stuff, no matter what it is, and politics, it will just boom, clash everything, and you got people like nope.
So what do you think is a good subject to start with, or to speak about with people? Give an idea of
In the beginning, what happens if you die or life after? What do you think? I mean, a lot of people, like you said, they are secular. I mean, they celebrate Christmas for this was the big thing, but there is no faith in it. It's just a regular holiday, what everybody celebrates, but no faith in it. Most people, you can say 80%, and to start with politics, and especially with Israel, I think you have a big problem.
Okay, so we have an interesting, I would say, conversation inside. What is the best issues, topics, with what to go? And it is a very big difference from the environment. It is a very big difference in the environment of the Eastern Europe, okay, and the secular side of Europe. Yes, please.
In the speech with all the people, I heard every time I am alone and something like that. And I feel in my heart that God takes this because we are searching to be together. And I think I spoke especially with a French woman, and that is very interesting. Catherine is a wife. She has no Noachides in all surroundings of her, but she has a flat where people can live and make holidays. And I feel it would be good to invite us from French, from France, from wherever, and invite them and invite other people to come so that they can speak. Or that makes us together strong, because we are together in unity, and we can invite the people which are our friends or so on to visit people like Catherine, or you in Cyprus, and you in everywhere, in every area, and we can invite them and can say, come visit us in my country, and that will make us very strong together, and it will come.
What I hear, so thank you very much. What I hear with what you said is two things. First of all, to invite each other. Okay? I'm now in French. You can come to my apartment for 2 days or something. You can be there, more than welcome. I'm here in the Czech. You can come to visit me, whatever it is. But more than that, when someone is coming, also to use this opportunity to invite friends. I have a good friend that came from there. Let's discuss this and this issue. Okay? We have also a friend, and this will strengthen the relationship between us. It will strengthen us, and also will manage to open up to others. Thank you very much. Okay? Thank you. We can applause. Now we have the Italy side. Italy is a...
I read it from Italy, who maybe start with the topic, and also from him that maybe the topic shall be something which is creating conflict. So for example, there are many people who are alone, who are maybe depressed, or maybe they don't find answers. And this is something transversal. It's for everyone. And maybe start with a topic and give maybe the what we think what can be probably a solution, or not a solution, but a way to live the life better. That would be a topic to some way attract people and speak about it. And maybe they will find the manual an answer, maybe not, and who knows. But that would be something probably which is not getting a conflict of discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, applause. I want to stop you. Now, why do I want to stop you? I want to stop before I'm stopping. Sorry, you want to say something before and then you will stop. Okay, sorry, please. Yeah.
Alors, nous sommes dans une société de loisirs. Et je pense que si on lance, ça rejoint ce que tu as dit, si on provoque une rencontre pour les vacances, ça peut attirer un certain nombre de personnes, mais des vacances studieuses. C'est-à-dire qu'en même temps, on va visiter une région et en même temps, on va avoir des temps d'études, des temps de prière, des temps de discussion. Et par exemple, on loue un gîte communautaire, donc on peut être 10, 15, pas plus. Mais pour renforcer les liens, d'abord entre nous, je suis d'accord. Et après, c'est comme la division cellulaire pour moi. Après, on va grandir comme ça. Mais s'il n'y a pas le noyau au début, c'est abstrait.
גם ניכור באיזשהו אזור, אבל גם ניכור בקהילות, ושאחר כך זה מתפתח בתור כמו התפתחות תאים, אבל צריך קודם כל שיהיה גרעין חזק, ומתוך כך זה יתפתח.
You're saying basically that to multiply a situation like that, okay, in small places, to organize something that we're doing here in places where people are feeling comfortable to come to visit one each other, to have some sort of, I will say also, some sort of tourism in the area. I'm sure that in Germany you have places, what to show us, like we will see today in Prag, okay, and other places. And this will strengthen those, I will say, places, will strengthen and will manage to multiply more and more. Thank you very much. I want to stop here. Now, why do I want to stop here? I want to stop here with two points. I want to stop here because I want us to continue to discuss those things. And now we're starting to realize that there is difference between the issues, and there are all sorts of ideas that we manage to catch one from each other, and we're not finishing. Okay, we have another day till tomorrow, and we'll bring it to reality, those things, those ideas to reality. But I want to say two important points. Point number one, it is very important to think how we can strengthen one each other. Okay? Every idea that I'm going to say, I can say this in a way that will weaken us, and I can say this in a way that will strengthen us. So it's very important to think before we're saying ideas, how we're going to say this in a way that will strengthen us. Okay? For example, I must get more strength, therefore let's not do this and this. No, this will weaken us. I need more strength, so let's have an idea how to give more strength to ourselves. But the more the positive way that we will think, it will manage to bring more and more positive behavior. The second point that I want to mention is that I have good news and bad news, as usual. Okay? The good news, we saw yesterday how this movement is growing up. And the movement is growing up all over the world. The bad news is that everything is inside you. More that you will help us, yourself, whatever it is, the movement will grow up. More that you will sit down aside, the movement will stay slow and, very tiny, whatever it is. So it's also good news, okay, because you have the strength of doing things. But again, maybe today we know about 2 people in Cyprus only, but with the right work, I know, for example, that Cyprus is one of the places where the England people and the Europe people are coming in the summer a lot, okay? So this is a place, if we will organize ourselves in the right way, and we have here the ideas and the strength how to do that in the right way, okay? And you will have also the backup of the Noachide world movement, where suddenly, this summer in Cyprus, it will be different summer, where there is suddenly a place where there is a sign of Jerusalem, with this thing even bigger, you know, and every week there is also some sort of an event, because it's a place, you know, that there is, for example, and then you will find yourself that in Europe, suddenly because we have a network also, people are starting to speak about this movement because they went to a holiday in Cyprus. I'm giving you an example, okay? Ideas we can build up. Ideas we can work them to reality. It's all dependent on us. So thank you very much for all of the collaboration. We just started. We just started. So we have now another 5 minutes of break, and then we'll gather together. Thank you very much.
nie chodzi. Ja też witam każdego. pracuję tutaj dzisiaj. Także mam właśnie szczęście, że mnie tam nie było.
That's why I'm asking you.
Jak ten program z tobą,
You're also excellent, thank you very much. So nice to meet you.
Shalom à tous. Shalom et couleurs.
Good, another good morning. We're starting again. We're continuing. I know that things that we spoke before are very emotional on one side, and going or bringing people to react, to go on the path of Abraham. So it's very good for everybody with this. Now, Juan Khalifa, he is leading the French department, so we'll speak in Spanish and in Spanish. We will speak in French and I will translate it into English. Yes, please.
Yo hablo un poquito español. טוב, שלום לכולם. קודם כל אני רוצה לנצל את הבמה להודות לכל הצוות שהבינו שאפשרו את הנאום. Je voudrais d'abord remercier toute l'équipe qui a permis le congrès de se faire. Bien sûr, Laura Goury-Chartier, Laura Chaim Colbert, Laura Blatam, Laura Valzef, pardon, qui a organisé aussi beaucoup de choses. Et remercier aussi l'équipe technique, Nathan, qui se trouve à Jérusalem. Et remercier aussi David Taïeb qui est venu avec nous. Et une autre personne que j'aimerais remercier, c'est Pascal Henry, avec qui on travaille. On a commencé à faire un partenariat et donc j'espère que ça va continuer à